woke up ready, got my meditation in, got my little jog in just to do this today. So I feel great today. How are you?
Wow, you got it so good. Man, you're making me feel lazy. I haven't done anything yet. I was so excited
And I
just
was
to have this
and I
conversation,
stayed out late last night and I still woke up and did that. Yeah, I slept at
Wow.
like 3 in the morning. I was up at like 8. Yeah, man. Hey.
God, you're making me feel lazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I've got plans to go to the gym though. So hopefully after this, we'll be just fine.
right.
So we'll be good. But anyways, yeah, man, I just want to thank you, brother, for making time to be here. I know, you guys, as you mentioned, you've got a colorful lifestyle. You got stuff going on. And I know you're an active member in the 12-step community. And you've got so much stuff going on. I know you got your kid who recently moved closer to you in San Diego. How's he doing, by the
Oh,
way?
he's not a kid anymore. He's not a kid anymore.
I do.
Yeah.
I see kid.
Yeah, like, yeah. Sometimes I have to look at him and be like, man, wow, man, he's like grown up now. I can't treat him like a kid. He's 19 now, and yeah. So I came in to meet with him because he was coming from South Africa to start college. He
Hmm.
actually was 5 years old when he left. He left America. He was born in Atlanta. Moved
Wow.
to he
Hmm.
moved to Lesotho uh, for a little while, and then he went to elementary school in Kenya, uh, and then from there went to high school in South Africa. So he's coming straight from there to start college at Cal State San Marcos here in San Diego. Yeah. So he's back in America now. He's like in his second month in the country. So it's been amazing to just be close to him and see how he's gravitating to everything, taking interest in like everything. Just it reminds me of when I came at 18 years old from Zimbabwe. Uh,
Wow.
and we're so close,
That
man.
is
I love
cool.
that boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love them both of my sons. My
Yeah,
sons, they're kings, man. You know. Yeah.
that's beautiful, man. I remember I saw your picture on I think it was it Facebook, and I was like, man, that's your twin. This is your twin. His posture, his swag. I was like, man, this is
He's
Chandi,
only
clone on
he's
clone.
only just a little more lethal. He's just a little more lethal.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got this humility. Like he's got this humility that I
Mm.
I didn't possess back then, and I'm still
Wow. Yeah.
working on even now. Because he's pretty
Wow.
nonchalant about he's brilliant, and since he's been here, he's been getting like
Wow.
90% to 100% on all his tests, and
Wow.
yeah, and of course, yeah, driving the ladies wild on campus because but he's very. It's a good thing he's responsible because no one looks like him.
Yeah.
Nobody, he's in his own
Yeah.
league. He's in the gym.
He stands
He's in
out.
the gym. He just sent me a message like, "Pops, I'm pushing 700 on the legs now." Where you at, Pops? Where you at? Because we were
700 pounds?
pounds,
Wow.
yeah.
Damn.
And we were in the gym together when I went for his orientation.
Mm.
uh we were in the gym
Yeah.
together and like we were doing legs and they thought I was his brother on campus, yeah. Yeah,
Wow. Man, good for you.
man, it's a blessing.
So yeah, just a continuation, man, from my last episode on the 12 steps. Just wanted to invite my brother Chandi here to discuss it further because it's been sober for what, 14 years now?
14 years. That was August
14 years now.
28th.
Congratulations.
August 28th, I turned 14,
Wow.
man. It's amazing.
Wow.
It feels like surreal. It's surreal because the last
Yeah.
14 years have been basically a dream come true. So it's just like being able to do that for 14 years. Yeah, it's cool. Really dope.
Wow. No, that's really, really dope, man. All right, man. Congrats, man. 14 years is quite a milestone, brother. Appreciate it, man. That is just a testament to everything you've done and just having been a witness to your transformation, before and even now. Man, just thank you for doing the work because that work also inspired me, and myself, I'm just, a little bit over 5 years. So thank you, and having taken me through it, as my sponsor, which we'll discuss what a sponsor is a little bit later. But thank you, thank you, thank you. It was it's just amazing to know that, man, my brother,
And
somebody I know, somebody that I love, woke me through this, and it doesn't look that different. It wasn't like a much older dude that I reached out to. So appreciate you, man.
I gotta say, it was
Yeah,
amazing working with you, man. Like
yeah,
amazing just to see a transformation of like, man. Like I remember when we were going through the steps and all that, I would always be like, we did them on FaceTime because it was COVID, and
yeah.
you're in
Things I'm
another
done.
state. I'm in LA. You're in Austin at the time, and like again, we had the prayers. You would pray all the time on
Mm-hmm.
those calls, and we knew we had our higher power with us. And but then I kept telling you, I was like, man, like I could see like a king. You know what I mean? Like just like your presence, I could see it like transforming and like doing this thing. And I was just like, wow. Like
Wow.
I get to witness this, to witness a whole transformation, bro. Like I always tell you, like you glow now, bro. Like when I see you, like I'm like, this man, like it's crazy. So yeah, no, the pleasure was all mine, and I can't even take the credit. A higher power, it is a major part of that, and of course, I definitely our brother John Luke as well. He's definitely been a major part of that because he connected us very well.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So yeah, you were roommates with my brother Jean Luc, but before that, you guys were boys, and that's how I got to meet you and to get to know you.
And I got to
And when
see
the moment
and I
became
actually
clear,
and I actually got to see you before you stopped drinking and how you partied. So like
yes,
that also connected us
yes,
because it's not like I was talking to somebody that I don't know what or like
yeah,
I actually saw you in
yeah,
person. So like when I say
yeah.
I witnessed the transformation and I was so honored to work with, that's
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
talking about. Because
yeah.
part of what impressed me too and let me know that you really wanted this thing was how much you went through before you actually came to me, because you spoke about having
Mm,
an ego even before we started the steps. So you already knew you had an ego, you already had a higher power, and you were
mhm.
already talking about, man, it took a lot for me to ask you because we were boys, and
Yeah, yeah,
I'm the older brother or whatever, but like it took a lot for you to come, and when you told me that, I was like, wow, man, like respect, because I have a lot of friends that are suffering with alcoholism, and I can see it, and they're very close friends. That I'm always like, man, I got
mm,
I got the 12 steps, man. I can give them to you anytime because that's all you need, and I can,
mm.
and they don't come because I know there's a lot of ego involved, or like a
Yeah, it takes a
reluctance
lot.
to get vulnerable or overshare about who they are, and that's credit to you
Mm,
because like you had nothing to hide. You knew we were gonna go into everything, and you're gonna have to like write everything that's like embarrassing or like super vulnerable and all of that. In our crew, how we are, like, yeah, this you would think there's certain things that you wouldn't have wanted to touch on, which showed me your transparency. You know, like you're super transparent, honest, and that served you well, man. 5 years plus now. It's insane. It's amazing, bro. Got the podcast
no,
going.
thanks.
Like you like when I think of it, I'm like, this guy is now out there helping masses. And I had something to do with it. Like it just fills me up with like mad pride, bro. So yeah, man. Mad love, my
Yeah,
brother. I'm
appreciate
so
it.
proud of you, bro.
No, appreciate it, man. I was just saying, I was like, man, I better not choke up.
I love you, man. You know that.
That's all need to get. By the end of the day, it's all love, man. It's all love. So, yeah, man. So, talking about the 12 steps. So, what brought you to the 12 steps? What made you saying that I want to look at this path because I've been going through my addiction, I've been going through my alcoholism. What led you to it,
I
man?
got beaten down into submission. I had to come
Oh.
into the 12-step program that we're in, and I
Hmm.
was sentenced by the judge to come and do 6 meetings in the the
Oh.
program pretty much.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I didn't believe that I had a problem. I didn't believe that I was
Mm.
an alcoholic, even though I had 2 DUIs back to back, 6 months apart.
Mhm.
And but then that second DUI made me like realize, yeah, I gotta, this is a bottom for me. It's a second bottom. I'm sitting in jail,
Yeah.
and I'm a private school kid from Zimbabwe who had everything, and I'm over here, you know, like in jail in a cell, looking at graffiti in a cell, going, "Oh, I saw this 6 months ago, the same exact graffiti." Yeah, and I was like,
Wow.
okay, uh, this time around, because the first time I got the first DUI, they didn't give me. I
Hmm.
paid it, pretty much paid the problem away, so they reduced to a
Hmm.
speeding violation of exhibition of speeding, they called it, and so I didn't have to
Oh, okay.
do an alcohol program. I didn't have to do uh,
Oh.
AA meetings, So yeah, so I came in and I was ready to listen, you know. Not to mention, like
Mm.
right before that DUI, I had had like a really, really bad episode in Las Vegas, and it was very embarrassing for me. Like I could see that my drinking had taken me to a whole place I don't even want to be, you know. Uh,
Oh.
yeah. So it was a series of events of
This was advanced, huh?
like not so, I don't know, plausible or like pr- things I can be proud
Yeah.
of, in the program. We call it a series of events that were uncompromising, demoralizing, you know? Yeah.
Mm.
And so when I went for those 6 meetings in AA, and they told me, you know, hey, the first drink gets you drunk. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That blew my mind. So if I don't have the first drink,
Yeah.
I don't get drunk.
Yeah.
So I just need to circumvent this
Wow.
first drink. Uh, yeah.
This drink.
And, stuff like that blew my mind, in that first.
Wow.
Yeah. So I then went ahead and got a sponsor. They advised me to get a sponsor because I have to work these steps. I just kept hearing about working these steps. I was like, oh, wow, because you can't
Hmm.
be like being in that program and not working the steps is like being in the gym
Yeah.
and not pushing the weights, like I get better.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, I wanted
Mhm.
to take those 12 steps just from the meetings that I went to. I just had like the window of opportunity that made me go, I want this, because I saw the people in there and the look in their eyes,
Oh,
the glow, I wanted what they had, you know. Yeah.
wow. Wow. That is
Yeah.
powerful. So, so what was that first meeting like for you?
First meeting, I always talk about this because the first meeting I was like 3 p.m. In the afternoon on a Tuesday. I walked in and it was a bunch of old people, and it wasn't very many black people in there, and it was like, oh man, I actually even had the thought that like, man, we don't get this. Black people don't get this. It's a disease, right? Yeah, alcoholism.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, no way I could have it because nobody in here looks like me. I'm in LA. I got sober in Studio City, so like, yeah. So, and that's another thing that I did learn in that first meeting, that, hey, it's about the similarities, not the differences. Because I could talk myself out of that room that day, and but I kept coming back
Mm.
the next day because somebody in the meeting said, look for similarities, don't look for yeah,
Difference.
differences. And I was like, okay,
That's
okay. And I could hear myself in other people. So that made me gravitate to,
wow.
to the
That's
program from day one, even though I still had my doubts. Like I was like, until
Yeah, yeah.
then my first temporary sponsor made me take the 21 questions of AA. So if any, like they
Hmm.
make you take those um if you doubt that you're an alcoholic, because once you test,
Oh wow.
you'll
Okay.
know.
I guess I never had to
Yeah,
do those
because
because
you do,
I
right?
know I was.
Right.
Oh, I keep going, huh?
Yeah, so
21.
I did the test. It's a test you're supposed to not pass, and I was trying to pass it, and
Mm.
yeah, but pretty
Oh,
much it told me that I was an alcoholic, you know, and that made me want to do the steps too, you know.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
So, my bad. Go ahead. Cut you
Oh,
off. What to say?
and the other thing that made me want to take the 12 steps is during my first 30 days, I saw a series, like a
Hmm.
few friends that, like old friends that were getting into trouble, like looking at like 20 years in jail because they had a DUI crash and somebody died, things like that.
Oh God.
Like, so it definitely made me want to, because I knew my whole life would change in a split second, you know, and for the worse, So yeah, that's why I did the 12 steps.
Wow.
Yeah. I was
Wow, man.
desperate.
That is. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Yeah, I think everyone who goes 12 steps goes there seriously wanting help. I don't think anybody goes there
Yeah,
for.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I know I'm with you. Um, so talking about your experience, you had your doubts. You have to do the 21 questions. One of the first steps, which I did an episode on surrender, because it sounds like you have to just be there, let it all go. So what does surrender mean to you? Having gone through 12 steps, what does surrender mean to you?
All right. So having gone through the 12 steps, surrender to me means something totally
Hmm.
different than it did when I got to the rooms. When I got to the rooms, it,
Oh.
it felt like something weak. Like, like, oh, I give up,
Mm.
or, I'm like less powerful than this thing, or I'm less powerful than
Mm.
disease or whatever. So my perspective on it has changed quite a bit from back in the days. Um, and it's
Wow.
still, I mean, that's still relevant, right? Because it's still true, right? When you surrender, you're saying, hey,
Mm.
yo, there's something bigger than me over here, Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And now my surrender is all like in action, because the program taught me that the
Mm.
action is definitely louder than words, and
Yeah.
the 12 steps are about taking action in order to have a spiritual awakening.
Hmm.
So that surrender for me comes in the things that I do on a daily basis now at 14 years. And of course, that definition of surrender has changed through the 14 years for me, right? Like it just depends on that year. But right
Hmm.
now, for me, it means like getting up and getting on my knees, thanking God for another day and asking Him to keep me sober. Just like my
Yeah.
mentors and my sponsors taught me. Like I say my prayers, get on my knees, and I still go to meetings till this day. You know, so that's another surrender. Every time I go to a meeting, I'm surrendering to this disease of alcoholism.
Hmm.
And I'm making myself available to other alcoholics to help them go through the 12 steps, which is like a huge thing. That's a huge surrender, because um,
Yeah.
they told me to give this thing away freely, like it was given to me, another man.
Mm.
So that's what I try to do. And right now I'm doing that with, I just had a sponsee get a year 2 days ago.
Hmm.
He just got a year, big
Yeah.
celebration. And I have three other
Wow.
sponsees that are like, yeah, two are like 90 days in, and I have one that's 33 days now, you know. And yeah, so we're going through the 12 steps now, surrendering to the process. And that's what I have to ask all my sponsees
Mm.
to do: surrender to the process. Your way didn't
Mm.
work. Surrender to this process, and we'll show you how we did it,
Uh-huh.
you know. So It's
Yeah.
and it's like I said, it's a spiritual thing. So all the work that we do, and you'll attest to it too,
Yeah.
there's always a higher power
Yeah.
realm. It's always special spiritual feeling when we're doing it, you know? So I take pleasure in those now, you know? So my surrender is with staying in action
Wow.
and not thinking that I got this now. I don't need to help anybody else, and I figured it out.
Yeah.
So I surrender in that way. I surrender when I do a gratitude list
Wow.
every day.
Yeah.
10 things that I'm grateful for.
Hmm.
That's a surrender. Anything that's edifying my spiritual life, and I'm doing that in action is me surrendering. Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. I think you've kind of expanded on what I thought of surrender. I mean, of course, surrender, yeah, can mean so many things.
Yeah,
It's
like
so
it's
vast,
when you
but
drop that topic, I was like, yo, this is like really it's you could go on and on about surrender. Yeah.
yeah,
And I
you
liked
can
your
go on and on
perspective.
and on.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, no, yeah. I like the perspective where you say you're doing all these things, basically all these things daily. Are you form of practice of surrender, your
Right.
prayer, your gratitude, our constant surrender. I love that. I love that. So something that you talked about, which to somebody maybe who's not familiar with the program, that I want to highlight. Hopefully, you get two things, and I'll remind you if you get lost. But one is a sponsor. You said a sponsor. So I know for me, you were my sponsor, right? So what would you say in that the aspect of the 12 meetings? What role does a sponsor play? To helping someone. Now, a sponsee is the person coming in
Right.
looking for
Right.
help, deciding to go through this 12 steps program and doing the 12 steps. But what is a sponsor to someone who doesn't know?
Okay. A sponsor is basically a person that has worked the 12 steps and is in a position, basically, that makes them, uh, it puts them in a position where they can take someone else through the 12 steps. So since I did
Mm-hmm.
the 12 steps, I in my family, in my sobriety family, what we do is I have a
Yeah.
journal that has all the steps in it the exact same way that people that came before me did them. And what I'm doing is
Mm-hmm.
pretty much giving them to you. I'm giving them to the sponsor
Mm-hmm.
and letting them have their spiritual awakening according to those steps, because their whole thing, they're a whole different person. So how it affected me is I know that it's going to give them a spiritual awakening, but how it looks on them or how it turns out for them, I don't know. But I know it's going to be positive and it's going to be like an amazing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you're going from
Yeah.
negative to positive, you know? So the 12 steps, like that's the role of a sponsor, you know? take, taking
Control the
literally
sponsor.
holding
Yeah.
someone's hand and taking them through those 12 steps and
Making
being your
gotcha.
confidant. You promise that whatever you discuss, uh you don't I'm not going to share with anyone else, you know uh
Mm-hmm.
so this is a safe place, and I'm not better than you, you're not better than me. There's no leaders in this program. Like the moment someone says they're your leader, run run from that person, you know
Yeah.
so it's
Mm-hmm.
establishing that foundation and that understanding in the connection with the sponsee, you know yeah, 'cause I like being friends with
Mm-hmm.
my sponsees, and so we could just talk about things, and yeah,
Yeah.
because we're going to spend a lot of time together. So like I think I prefer to enjoy that process, yeah, and because
Mm.
we
Gotcha.
get to accepting our higher power or God in the program. We together, and we get to
Mm-hmm.
do a whole fourth step and a fifth step where it's very intimate and it's all the details in a person's life. And, they
Mm.
drop their load and whatever has been blocking them from a higher power relieved,
Yeah.
you know? And then we get
Yeah.
into meditation practices, we get into making amends on step 9, and change lives, and it's amazing.
Mm.
And once that ninth step is in, then we got 10, 11, and 12. some people call them the maintenance steps to just now
Yeah,
that you
man.
have your connection with the higher power, you just anything happening in your day, you want to make sure that you're addressing it right away so you keep that connection with the higher power, you know? Yeah, so the
Mm,
10, 11, and 12 is what I live in now all the time, And
mm,
10, oh, for people that don't know what 10, 11, and 12 is, 10 is when you pretty much like call someone when you're being bothered by something and it's blocking you from connecting with God, you know? You call
mm,
a newcomer after that and you ask them how their day is going. You don't tell them about your day, you ask them how they're
mm.
doing and you just listen. And
Wow.
then the third part of that is going to God and it just relieves whatever's going on. I don't care what it is. It just relieves it and reestablishes the connection, you know? Then step 11 is meditation, uh, conscious contact
Mm-hmm.
with the higher power. And then step 12 is service, things like sponsor,
Um,
taking commitments at the meetings, working with others, just anything where you're helping another alcoholic, making calls, So that's 10, 11, and 12. That's
mm.
where I live. That's where I live now. That's where we live now. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because
I'm with
that,
you.
so
I'm
some
with you.
people
Wow.
say
We're gonna.
10, 11, and 12 are the maintenance steps, but I see them as the
Mm.
growth steps because the more I do them, the more
Yes,
my
yes.
spiritual life is enlarged.
In terms of, I know we've talked about faith and spirituality in the 12 steps being crucial because we use the words like higher power. So, how would someone say who's agnostic or somebody who just does not believe or is uncomfortable with the word God or higher power? What would you say to that person to how the program could still serve them and to not be maybe intimidated by those words?
Right. That's a good one. Uh, my advice to them is just to take anything, like anything they want to take as their high power. Just say, hey, this doorknob is my high power, and let's work it that way. Because what's going to happen is as you go through the 12 steps and you spend more time in the program, uh, or the ocean, whatever you want to pick, right? As the more time that you spend in the program, the more you're going to start relating with a higher power. And that's what this whole thing is about: surrendering,
Mm,
accepting,
yeah.
my life is unmanageable, and I have this allergic reaction to alcohol. It doesn't affect me like it affects other people. So, and there's a mental obsession that's coupled with it that, you know, yeah.
Nice, nice. I think yeah, the one upon just doing my going back again and doing research for the 12 steps, that's something I was reading that made it just quite enlightening for somebody who does not believe. To add on to what you say, just find a higher calling to your life. Could it be your kids? Are to be a dad, is that a
That's
higher
it. That,
calling? To be a servant in your community, is that a higher calling?
yeah.
You know? So you're just releasing that and saying, man, this is bigger than me. I'm gonna do this for my kids, and you're doing something bigger than a bigger cause than you, like your kids or
Right.
something. And I was like, yeah, it was quite insightful. There's another one that apparently similar to 12 steps. I forgot the name. I'm not gonna highlight it because I don't remember. But there's another solution. But to your point, man, find something higher. And at the end of the day, you've struggled this long. You know, what else do you have to lose? There's more to gain than whether higher power offends you or God offends you. Just pick something that works for you, but pick yourself above all and all, man. You gotta save yourself, and whatever that path is gonna be,
Right.
right?
Right. What I love about the
Yeah.
program is that
Hmm.
like you hear it all the time. Like you don't have to be of any religion or any sect or anything like that. Like that's one of the major things that I like about that because then it allows the person to be free to choose a higher power of their own,
Mm,
instead of, for example, like
yes.
a higher power or God that you were forced to have as a kid or whatever. Like the freedom to choose, I think, is a big one. And and it's your of your own design. Like you become free to
Mhm.
make your own design of a higher power, whatever you feel like your higher power should be. My higher power should shower me with
Mhm.
gifts. He should always, whatever it is, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other thing I like about the program when it comes to this is that they also have meetings for we agnostics, and we agnostics is I'm saying I don't know if there's a God or not. We even have a chapter in the big book that is we agnostics. So it's all inclusive. Yeah,
Oh,
it's all
okay.
inclusive. And if you got
Got you.
having problems with a higher power or finding one, you can read we agnostics and get to it, you know?
Mm,
So yeah,
mm,
that's what I would say to someone who's having
mm.
some problems with the higher power thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. And I know we've been talking about the 12 steps and the program, but so in a nutshell to you, how would you describe the 12, just the 12 steps themselves? We'll expand a little bit into the program as well. How would you define the 12 steps? Um,
Hmm. Define the 12 steps. I would define them as divine. I would define them as
right?
divine. I like how that's
Mm,
uh because man, you know, the people that put this thing together, like they had a formula that worked. And that
mm,
same formula, if it worked for this man, it'll work for that man, it'll work for that girl, that woman, you know what I mean? The formula, you know. is divine. I remember reading about Bill W., who is the founder of
mm,
the program, right? And uh, he
mhm,
himself is the one that said that this is a spiritual program of action. So you take action to have a spiritual awakening, right? And that's the action is in those
mm,
12 steps. And he had a
mm.
spiritual leader who was this Catholic priest when he was writing this book. And I saw that in the documentary and I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool, you know, because like there's a spiritual aspect to this thing, you know, to getting sober pretty much, you know.
Wow. Well, beautifully said. What's the name of that documentary if anybody wanted to look it up?
Uh, I, I don't
Do you know?
remember it. I watched it like 10, 12 years ago. Like, uh, yeah. So
Okay.
I'll look it up and we can put it in the links maybe.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Yeah, yeah. We'll just throw a picture out here and people can look it up because I'm also
Yeah.
curious
I'll
to
find it.
find it. Because
I
to
can
your
find it
point,
while we. Oh, yeah, I
yeah,
can't find it right now.
yeah, no, so we can find it later. Yeah, but to your point, the thing that what blew me away and why I knew doing the 12 steps was divine was okay. I decided, all right, okay, I'm done drinking. Right, I'd come to a acceptance. I'd got out of denial. Then I went and surrendered. Right, I said I just went to the park. I said, "Oh God, I'm surrendering. I can't." I just cried out, and 6 months goes in. Then I reach out to you. Then I realize, yo, everything I've already started this process. I've started it, and man, it just seemed like just a continuation. Like this was meant to be. I know I'm talking to you and we're doing these steps, this program. It's divine. I can't pretend that anything else. And I used to be scared of you because I used to look at you. I'm like, nah, dude, it's just so perfect. Like, and I'm like trying to hide my blemishes. I'm trying to hide whatever is
That's
bugging
crazy. I
me.
never knew that.
But
I
but your
didn't know
point,
that. That's wild.
yeah, I know I never shared it with you, but I remember when me and Jean-Luc could, when I think Jean-Luc had moved to Los Angeles, and I would come to visit. And I'm just I'm just always up here. I'm looking to just go out. I'm
Uh,
just looking to turn up, as we used to say. And I'm just looking at this guy just moving like he's in slow motion. He's in slow motion. And he's like, yo, Jay, look at my bus, my favorite number 28. I'm like, his brother used to drive a Mercedes. He's getting into a bus and he's happy. Like, and it made me more scared of you. So
yeah.
be there, but it's like I'm feeling intimidated. I'm feeling like, it's like, as they say, light. Light has an effect on
Oh,
darkness. Like it was having an effect on my darkness, and it
dude, I get
was
it.
there, was there,
I
was there.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of poking at me, and I just felt like, man, I just want to hide.
Oh, wow. Yo, you brought me back to a time like the bus
Mm.
time. I was on a DUI at that time. Like for I think I was on the bus for like
Yeah,
5 years. Yeah.
and you did
And I
not
didn't
care.
care.
And
I was having
buses
the
in
most
Los
amazing
Angeles.
time. This was like new lease on life, spiritual awakening, and materials didn't matter to me, and they still don't. I mean, we need them,
Yeah,
but like, I got into
yeah,
this place when I had my spiritual awakening with the steps, where I was just like, ah, dude, I am so good, and I saw you go through the same thing. And you'd come to LA and Jay and I would probably make me making fun of you, like, oh, dude, this, that, you wearing these shoes, you wearing that, where you wearing that? And you're like, I don't care. I don't care, man. Like, you guys can do that, You guys can do that. I am the son of God. Okay. Do you understand? I am the son of God. I had that feeling. And I saw that feeling when it happened for you, man. Still going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. That light, and also just like I told you, how many of my friends have asked me, "Yo, who's that
Oh
guy?
yeah.
He's always smiling. He was having a good time. Who's that guy? Man, I want to meet that guy." It's like, man, this guy must have been the glow that I saw.
Right, right.
But it shows, man. Once you've gone, done the work, man, found that divine within you, man, let go. So
And it's
it's
rare.
amazing.
And
So I
it's
want to ask you.
rare. Most
Yeah,
people
it's
out
right,
here,
it's right.
especially where
It's
we
very
are, don't have that. It's rare,
mm,
very rare because like what it takes to have the discipline to stop intoxicating yourself and start taking care of yourself and all those things. Not many people are willing to go there. So, I you get the results of that. You see them like right away, you
yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Um, yeah, so real quick before I forget, talking about sponsors, because it's something crucial about the 12 steps. If somebody's coming and they're shy, they're nervous, they're uncomfortable, um, what is what's a what's something you can say for somebody who's doubtful about maybe picking the wrong sponsor or just not having a good time with a sponsor? How does that
Hmm.
work?
That's a good question. Like, I think everyone's experience is very different when they come in the rooms, because you will hear at every single meeting, hey, there's a person that does announcements for sponsors, at every single meeting,
Yeah.
like, and they'll say, hey, a sponsor, they'll describe what a sponsor is, and it's someone that's gone 12 steps and is
Uh-huh.
willing to take you through the steps, freely, and so they say that at every meeting. So finding a sponsor, and then sometimes I even hear, hey, if you're not comfortable enough to approach the people who lifted their hands as willing to sponsor, you can what were that? Or you can come to me. Like the person that's making the announcement is like, hey, you can come to me and I'll introduce you to the person, you know? So there's that route. And then, but I'm going to talk about my own, like how I did it, you know, how it
Cool,
happened for
please.
me. I didn't actually do
Please.
it. I had an angel that was sitting in a room in the back of the room, and he pretty much told me he was going to be my sponsor. And I was like, oh, go hey, dude, And I just
Wow.
started like kind of working with him, but we didn't go far in the steps. And but I knew how important having a sponsor was at that point. I'm like within the first 90 days, 3 months, and you know, we had a problem. He violated on a personal level, and I had to go get a new sponsor. And by then, I had my spiritual awakening on the 30th day of being sober. So, uh, and this was the white light variety. So light bulb goes off, my whole life changes overnight. And so I was now in prayer too, and it took
Mm,
3 months. I prayed on my next sponsor, the person who was going to take me through the steps. I prayed for him for like 3 months,
mhm.
and I knew when I saw him, I would know. And I saw my sponsor sitting in a in,
Wow.
in a meeting, and I just thought
Mm,
that's the guy, because I used to go to that meeting every day,
mm.
those first 90 days,
Yeah,
and I just saw him
yeah,
every morning. So I knew he was doing this thing every morning. He was there too,
yeah,
you know, and he had a peace about him, you know. I didn't know
yeah.
what he looked Italian or something, I didn't know what race he was, or but he turned out to be Jewish.
Mhm.
He had more of a tan than I
Yeah,
would have thought. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
yeah.
And I asked him to sponsor me. He took a day to get back to me. This is Rand. Rand is my first real like sponsor, right? And
Yeah.
he
Sponsor,
took a
wow.
day to get back to me, and I was like, doesn't he want to? He doesn't want to sponsor me? Is it because I'm black? Like
Mm,
what's up? And then he ends up saying yes the next day, and I find out that his sponsor is actually black. So the whole thing that I
mm.
was thinking was just not even it. So what I'm trying to get to is that
Oh, wow.
I allowed the spirit to lead me with this decision. Yeah.
Mm.
I prayed on my
Wow.
sponsor. And then I walked into his house the very first time we were doing the steps, and
Hmm.
his whole layout of his house was the same layout that we have back home in Zimbabwe, like my family home. Yeah,
Okay.
everything was like boom, boom, the same everything. And I was like, I called home and I was like, this is crazy. So I knew I was in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine was spiritual, but
Sure. Yeah, of
what I
course.
said first is like the best way to do it. Just listen out in the meeting
Yeah.
who for the sponsorship announcement, and then
Gotcha. 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 But to your point, as you say, if it doesn't work
you
out, you
can
can
get
get another
another one.
sponsor. So
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
and get us so not tied
And
to that one. Yeah. So
and
you can, whatever suits you.
right.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you can have more you can have more than one sponsor if you want. Like I have a sponsor that I call my sponsor, but I also have mentors in the program that I go to for because we all speak the same language. I go to them for guidance all the time, for support, you know.
Mm.
But
Wow.
all
Okay.
my serious
Fantastic.
work, all the work that I did for my steps and all that through my spot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, no, they know that you make a fantastic point, man. Thank you. So I was thinking because we've talked about the program, we've talked about the sponsors, but and we've highlighted some of them in the meetings, but we haven't talked about what meetings are like. What would you like if somebody who's not been to a meeting? What is a meeting like? Visiting 12
A
steps.
meeting, let's see, like it's pretty much a gathering place that has a minimum of two people that are following the program setting for a meeting. And that's pretty much what a meeting is. Like right now, you and I are two alcoholics talking to each other, right? So this is a meeting, you know? Yeah.
Mm.
That's one. But then like the regular meetings
Uh-huh.
that we've been discussing are
Uh-huh.
more you have men's meetings, you have women's meetings, and then you have the mixed
Uh-huh.
meetings. I personally prefer going to men's meetings. Like with all my
Okay.
sponsees, I advise that they have at least one meeting that's a men's meeting. Um, because
Okay.
I feel like that really like uh show like the program gets deeper when it's just men talking to men, and same thing with women
Mm.
talking to women. Yeah, and I enjoy the mixed meetings too, because you get the whole gamut, right? Like it's still a spiritual uh space.
And
Every room that I walk into feels spiritual to me, and we have
mm.
set set prayers and a set agenda, set format of how the meeting is done. I mean, like different meetings have different uh, agendas and settings, you know? Uh, yeah,
Mm,
so sometimes it's a speaker meeting. You might just walk in there, there's a bunch of people, and there's one speaker who's talking for 45 minutes about his story, how he went from where he was to where he is now. And, that's really what a meeting is about. Like going there, you're listening to the main speaker and everyone shares on what he shared about or something else that's bothering them on that particular day, something they
mm,
need to celebrate that day. Because um, like
yeah.
we are not a glum lot. We're not a glum lot. Every like once people get sober, they get successful and they get not just successful in monetary ways, but like as human beings. So we have a lot of fun in the meetings. The shares are funny.
Mm,
Some of them are super serious because people are going through what they're going through. But even as
of course.
but even this is the special thing about the program is that like even the ones that are going through it, they're going through it laughing like man, like because they're
Mm,
connected to their higher power and they're in this program and they're
yeah.
celebrating life and just being alive to be able to show up today for their kids, for whoever, and just for themselves. So
Mm,
it's a great place to
yeah.
be, listening to other people's stories and getting their experience, strength, and hope. You know, that's Anita is
Mm,
sharing their experience, strength, and hope, you know.
mm,
Yeah, heck, it's really cool. And then the other meetings are the leader shares 15 minutes, and everybody else shares the rest of the time. It's just depends on
mm,
what meeting you go to, and you get to choose and spice up your sobriety. That's part of how I spice
mm,
it up. Like, oh, I like that meeting because it's a
mm,
musicians meeting. Oh, I like that meeting because it's this kind of this is my home group. Like. And a home group
mm,
is the meeting that you choose that you're going to show up every day and be accountable
mm,
to this group of men. If you're not there for
mm.
a week or two, you should be getting calls from those guys, because you need that, you know?
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So,
Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, that's awesome, man. Because yeah, one thing for me for sure that I found about the meetings, as from everything you've highlighted, but it's a
it's a community.
community. It's a community, and these are people who are trying to better themselves and have gone through something similar. They've gone through a trauma with this
Mm-hmm.
substance, right? Could be alcohol, could be anything else, whatever people are struggling with. But it was just coming and then seeing that everyone there you know, is broken just like me or has been broken. Because at that time when you come in, you're looking at everyone, you feel you're the most
Mm-hmm.
broken. But then you see the courage and man, it's just so healing just hearing from other
Right.
people. It's like hearing self-talk, because but we are humans, we're gonna have similar
Mm-hmm.
experiences. But man, the meetings are really, really, really powerful for
Powerful,
sure.
man. Powerful. Like I've never gone to a meeting and left feeling worse than when I came in. I always leave feeling better. You know, always.
Oh,
I've never gone to one and left in my 14 years of going. And so I always leave feeling better, you know?
me too. Wow, that's powerful, man. That is powerful. So I'm curious. We've talked about the 12 steps, the program, and all this stuff. What are your thoughts in terms of being that coming from the African community? What are some misconceptions that people may have about 12 steps, and what would you say to someone who's like, "Oh man, this thing just doesn't make sense"? What are some misconceptions and thoughts, for somebody who just said it very differently?
I think, man, misconception. I think the biggest thing for our people, uh, is like not. I'm gonna speak from my own country, Zimbabwe, right? Like not having
Hmm.
the education on alcoholism. Like that's a one. Like
Mm,
I didn't have any. Like nothing at school is spoken of. Like nothing. Like the kids here in America. By the time they're leaving like school. They've had some kind of contact with some alcohol program or training or that kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
and they know of
Gotcha.
AA and like with us,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like with us is like there wasn't any of that, and I come from a country where the police take bribes, so you can breaking and
Mm,
driving, and with the bottle, and the cop stops you, and you just pay them off and you keep going, like because it's the general whole culture that needs to change around that. But I mean, the cops are suffering; they're not getting paid enough, so they take the bribes. That's all they're doing all day long. So that actually like lowers the bar for the whole country, or for I'm just guessing the continent too. Yep. So
of
first,
course.
it's there.
Of
Let's
course.
let's be educated about alcoholism is a big one.
Mm,
Because yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, it's a big deal. And then like there's a lot of shaming in our culture if you're like a stupid drunk, It, it's
Yeah.
definitely that's definitely there. I think we need to put more uh like open the people up so they can have vulnerable conversations, And hopefully with the more work that we're doing and they're able to see that there is another way, another path that they could take, like that could
Mm,
normalize, you know, which I think is happening because apparently
mm.
alcohol sales are down in America and in Zimbabwe right now. It looks like the people
Wow.
are like taking a different trajectory, which is good.
Yeah, I'm hearing some of this new generation, man, like um vodkas and tequilas that are alcohol free are selling.
Yeah,
And they're selling for the same
right.
price. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay, man, if that's floats you, but if that floats your boat, hey, but yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think you make a fantastic point, man. The lack of education, the shaming, the stigma around alcohol, and it's as though, because looking back in the eyes of growing up and looking at, say, certain drunks, you don't look at them as people. You look at them as,
Mhm.
um, and you don't even think, because it's not something you grow up with, to think that that person is going through a tough, is
Suffering,
suffering,
right?
right? Because nobody in the same mind who's safe, who's happy, who's healthy would want to harm themselves and continually harm others and embarrass
No,
themselves. So to your point, man, it's that.
no
Yeah.
one on this earth could have told me that uh my favorite celebrity growing up, Diddy, was that person. You know what I mean? Like he's like, no, you could not have convinced me that he was that person. You know, he was on top
I
of the
know.
world, man. You know, but definitely dealing with a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude is for sure. Dude was definitely hurting to do whatever he did, whatever he's accused of, convicted of. Yeah, nobody who's at peace or who knows God is in everything, would do
Yeah.
that. So, but to your point, yeah, that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is to kill that stigma and to start, healing, and bringing that beginning of a better life to other people, because it's possible. You've done it for 14 years, I've done it for
Hmm.
5. Man, let me see something I want to ask you too as well. Something about the 12 steps. You've done the 12 steps. What would you say has been, if there was there your most difficult step that you did?
Ooh, that's a good one. Wow, most
Mm.
difficult step.
If there's
It's it's,
one,
it's between 1 and 9. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So step
Wow.
one is like not drinking at all. That's
Hmm.
that was that. Well, I'm not gonna say it was hard because I wasn't like
Mm.
an everyday drinker, right? So I could go like 30, 60 days if I decided to. because I used to do it for Lent,
Mm,
you know, 40 days
hmm
and 40 nights, and then I'll get back to drinking. So like I knew I could get some time in there, you know, but um yeah, it's huh, I don't know. It's interesting because on step one, like just being able to circumvent that first drink, that was huge for me. That's for one because
mm,
I had to change where I hang out, who I hang out with, what I'm doing as I'm hanging out. I had to change a lot of like logistics and then decide to block my past and the people and do this thing, you know. I think step one is the most difficult.
mm.
But yeah, and
Step
it
one,
beats
wow.
out step nine. And step nine is like making amends to people that you hurt past, right?
Mm,
Um, and it, it beat out nine because I got the strength to do nine from doing one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So yeah, those seven
mm,
steps and eight, right? The first eight give me the strength to do nine. I can go to people, look them in their eye,
mm.
and say, I
Yeah.
apologize for what I did, and I'm taking ownership for it, and how can I make it better? And that's why I think it's
Mm.
tougher because you're interfacing with people that you heard, stole from, like violated in some way, embarrassed them, or just everybody. I had to make those amends to my parents, you know, or to like a lot of people in my
Uh-huh.
in my life that were very close, and some of them are still are, and I live with making those amends, every day. So yeah,
Mm.
but step one was the toughest because I was taking a whole
Step one
life,
is it.
man. Like I'm gonna stop doing this thing that I've been doing for over 10
Mm.
years, at a high level,
Yeah.
you know. Because when you met me, what level was I drinking at? I was,
Yeah. Yeah,
VIP
man. Yeah.
bottles everywhere, and to go
Yeah.
from that to like, you know,
I'm with you, man. It's a whole, yeah, it's like time traveling to another planet or something. It just, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. When I find myself on Sundays and I'm like, yo, all right, I'm getting ready. I'm excited to go to church. And church. I'm like,
what?
what?
Yeah.
Me? I'm always, well, then I had an out of body experience. I'm like, yo, I'm in church. Oh, church. Then you look at everyone. It's like, man, like, just how,
Like, you're
you
like,
know?
I'm more surprised than you. Like, that's what I be thinking a lot of times. I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
dude,
Was nice.
yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Now that's very insightful. Step one, I had not thought about it, man. Because I know a lot of people struggle. I think is it step nine or step 10, making their amends.
No,
Reaching out to
most
people, as you
people
say.
stop at step four. Most people, for some reason, don't want to
Step
do the
four,
writing about
done right. Yeah, you
what
mentioned that.
happened, what they did, Well, that tells me that they also don't want to either face the stuff, they're scared of it, or they're scared of themselves, like they don't want to,
Yeah,
or they don't want to take accountability. Because in step four, you have to take accountability of what part you had
yeah.
in any event or any relationship situation,
Mm.
And most people don't want to
Wow.
take accountability. A lot of people don't want to
Yeah,
face their weaknesses and their fears, and a lot of people don't want to face who they are, and that's why they drink. But it's like, yeah,
I know. I think that's the
hmm
yeah. It's ego, man. It reminds me of a quote of from this poem of Marion Williamson, I think. Sorry if I butchered the name, but I love a poem. The first line is our deepest fear. No, no, I'm sorry. One of the lines says, "It's not our light, it's not our darkness that frightens us, but it's our light." And I was like, "Yo, that just hit." So that poem, I always go back to it, man. It's that light of truth, that light of who you are, just shining to all the parts that are you.
right.
So yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So let me ask you this then. Um, 12 steps. It's a fantastic program. We've all done it. What?
We haven't all done it.
Huh? Me, and you. Okay, right, right, right. I'm hoping whoever's
We've
listening,
all
we've
done.
all done it.
Man,
We.
the percentage of we
Oh,
all done it is like 5% or less. The last time I checked, less than 5% people who are actually successful in doing this. Yeah.
who comes with
And
12 steps and
actually
actually
complete
complete
and
the 12
have
steps?
what we're talking about we've done or have now. Yeah.
5%.
And maintain it. Right. So I think it's less than 10% for sure. It's definitely less than 10. I haven't checked in 14 years, but I
Yeah.
remember when I came
No.
in, it was like they would be like, yeah, only 3 to 4% get this thing. I think that's what I remember hearing. It was not over 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. So in terms of talking about not everyone goes through it, if somebody fails, if somebody struggles, if somebody has a relapse, what do you have to say is that what about the 12 steps then? I've had somebody that's had a
Just
relapse.
keep
Yeah.
coming back. That's all I can say to that person because that's all I can say. Because if you're out, you're gonna you're gonna die, or you're gonna go to prison,
Mm.
or you something. So that's why, like
Yeah.
in and I told my sponsee this week. Wait, did I tell him? I thought to tell him, but I didn't tell him. But in the program, we have a saying like once you get your first year, or like even before you get to the first year, I'll say, hey,
Yeah.
just try this thing for a year. You know, once you
Mm.
get a year and you feel like, I think I want to do something else, we can refund your misery, as is the saying. Yeah, try this for 1 year. Uh, we can always refund your misery.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I heard that and I was
Damn.
like, ooh. And by the time you get to
What kind of
yeah, by the
reef?
time you get to 1 year, like your life is has transformed so much and you've seen the light already.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to give it away. So if somebody relapses at any given time, even after a year, it's just come back, keep coming back. We hear these stories all the time. People like relapsing and they never come back with good stories. They either never come back at all, which means they're dead in a ditch somewhere, or they come back with the same story. Like, it's still the same out there, guys. There's nothing going on out there. Like, it's really bad. It's really dark and it's cold. So yeah, keep coming back is what I say
Wow.
to them.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, because like
Yeah. And to your
if you
point,
sit around and hang around
yeah.
long enough, you'll get it. You'll start getting it. Just do what
Yeah.
everybody
No, absolutely.
that's successful in it is doing, and you'll get the same results. No shortcuts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And to your point, it's, just come back because it happens. People relapse. We all make mistakes. We all tumble, but you stay down or you
And
stand up and you just keep coming, going after it, going after it. So, yes, to your point, just come back. It's not that the program has failed. You just stumbled and it's not that you failed,
right,
right?
exactly. And we all know it takes some failure sometimes to actually get the big success. And as a whole, uh, anyone who's become sober knows that they had to fail to get here. It kind of reminds me of, like a saying from the church. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and they say,
Mhm.
you have to die in order to have life. You know, it's like, so if you're scared of the failure or if you're scared of the death, how are you gonna be? That's what it takes. Even for like a new being, like a butterfly, a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, someone has to die. Like you, that old self has to die, you know, in order to have new life. So, yeah.
Yeah, well said, well said. So all right, I guess just as we're concluding, because I know you've got something to get to, but knowing one thing I really admire and I love about you is you've continued to be of service in the program. You've continued, as you mentioned, you've had what 4 sponsees at the moment. It's my sponsee, and I can say absolutely. I'm thankful for Spirit working through
Yeah.
you because, yeah, I really needed that. And so I'm moving then beyond the 12 steps then. So what does healing looks like beyond, the program?
Healing beyond the program. I'm gonna have to give this one to you. I think you're setting me up right now because, like
Mm,
you and I have talked about therapy. You know, doing outside work is really important. You know, like I have outside programs, and I have also, um, like the therapy. Man, it's been amazing. Like it took me a while to get to it, and you and I had a conversation about it, and you're like, "Bruh." You know how you say that all the time, bruh. Yo, you gotta do this, bro. You gotta do this, Chandi. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And I always, this is really important to say because I've told you this many times. Like the beauty of the program too is that like I'm the sponsor and I'm sponsoring somebody, but they always end up sponsoring me. It's like a gift that keeps on
mm,
giving. It's cyclical. Because you're having
mm,
your awakening and you're growing in your spirituality and in your life in all facets, like it's all just like pouring back to me. Like, whoa, whoa. And like you reintroducing new concepts. Oh no, reintroducing like concepts that I've heard before, but I'm hearing them differently because of I've changed and you growing and all of that. And it's just been like, you know,
mm,
yeah.
mm. Wow.
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah, it's
powerful, Ben.
crazy. It's like you give it away and then it just comes back to you tenfold, you know? Yeah, it's
Wow. Wow.
in
And
like
also
ways that you don't
just
even, and
continues
that's in ways that I can see. Like I know like other
yeah, yeah,
ways that
yeah.
it's just happening that I can't even count. Yeah, what we're doing generationally is real. Is real, man.
Mm,
Like I said at the beginning of this interview, is like, well, conversation. This is not an interview. We've been just like having a conversation, you know? uh is like seeing where you are with this thing, my brother, man. My brother, I am so proud of you, man. Like changing lives, bro. You know? Yeah,
thank you, man.
generations, like we said,
Thank
generations and lineages and spiritually, like, yeah, the Lord's work, man. You know? So
you, man.
it's
Amen.
just an honor to even know you, bro. Damn, I'm grateful to get on
Samir,
the
man.
path, and it's not what you did and what you're doing, it's how you doing it, bro. Like
So,
who you've become, like you
mm,
if you get to spend some time with Elvis, you better like thank your lucky stars. You know what I mean? That you even had the opportunity to meet a miracle. You know what I mean? Because you are a miracle, bro. Like
man.
this is a miracle in the flesh. Like I saw you through all the stages, man. Even the darkest period at the end when, you know, yeah, when you had to fly back to Rwanda and all that. Like, yeah, bro.
Mm,
Like it's deep. It's deeper than rap, you know?
no,
Yeah.
yes, man. No, man, I appreciate you. This has been a very enlightening conversation. So I'm curious if people want to get a hold of you. I know tax season is about to come in the
Oh yeah.
US.
We gotta
Or
throw
if people have questions.
we gotta throw that plug in there for sure, Hey, 14 years sober, and I know my stuff. When it comes to tax, that's my thing. So, yeah, reach out to me. Like I don't know, we'll put a link under this thing, right? Yeah,
Yeah, we'll put a link. I'll put. Is it okay if I just share your
yeah,
socials?
yeah, that's perfect. And actually, more importantly, if anybody needs help getting
Mhm.
sober, that's my primary
Yes,
purpose. And
absolutely.
yeah, my primary purpose is staying sober and keeping others that are struggling sober if I can. So yeah, reach out to
We
me
do. No,
anytime,
we do.
man.
We do.
You know.
No, appreciate it, man. I so appreciate this moment. It's gone way better than I even imagined. So I'm praying and hoping that, man, we're gonna touch someone's
I
life
know
today, and
we are.
you know,
I know we are.
yeah,
Like, and I was thinking about that as we were doing it. I was like, man, like, I know one. We're gonna get one, and it's worth it. You know, we're
mm,
gonna get
yeah,
one,
it
and
is
it's
worth it.
worth it. But when God decides, yo, the parable where the I can't remember which disciple it is. They cast out a net and then they catch a lot of fish. Like
Mm,
I think that's where
yeah,
that's where you're taking it with this now. And wow, wow,
amen,
wow,
amen.
that is
And thank you
great,
for being
bro.
a part of it. In every way.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, brother, thank you very much, man. I wish a nice, fantastic rest of your day, and hopefully in the future we can have another chat about something
yeah.
similar
Like there's a lot of
as we
topics.
try to
There's a lot
continue.
of topics that relate to what we do, and how we live. That like I like really. I've been
Absolutely.
tuned in, man. I've been tuned in. I've been watching. It's definitely like there's so
Yeah.
much to it. There's so many facets to sobriety, man. So many facets and so many ways to grow within it. So many connections and people to meet, and it's a whole life. It's a whole beautiful life, And again, like it's all about taking those actions, which is the 12 steps to have a spiritual awakening and maintaining that contact with the higher power, period. And if you take the steps,
Yes, sir.
you get the spiritual awakening. So it's a no-brainer. Like, why not do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm with you,
I'm
man.
I'm
I'm with
literally
you.
living a life beyond my wildest dreams, man. You know, wildest
Amen.
dreams. Like, I've done things that I like. I'm just like, yeah. It's just, I went back to school and all that, got my master's, thinking about going to get a doctorate, you know. Like we started
Oh,
businesses and all of that, So besides the spiritual aspect, which is actually the spiritual aspect, it's a lot that you get for trading in this little thing that's annoying as, you know, throw that away, you know? Yeah,
um,
like there's a whole big life waiting for you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's get it. you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Travel the
Yes,
world
my brother.
over with my brother Elvis. We went
Yes, we have.
Mexico. Like we've been having fun in sobriety, man.
Yeah. You can have fun in
Yeah,
sobriety.
and for me, that was a big thing. I like if I'm not having fun, like what are we
Uh,
doing? Like, what are we doing? It's about having a good time. For the rest of
yeah.
eternity, every day is my birthday. Every day is my birthday. Yeah.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Well, Chandi, I appreciate you, man. I wish you a nice, fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, brother.
cheers.
Love you,
Love
man.
you, my bro. Talk soon.